Today I'm going to teach you how to conquer indecision in 3 simple steps. Now you might be someone like myself who really struggled with decision making. I swear I was born with the indecisive gene, and I have spent probably the first half of my life learning how to conquer it. Today, I'm proud to say I am an avid decision maker and I'm an advocate of decision making in the world. I know that for you at home, you might be sitting there going, oh my God, I am so indecisive, or I'm so afraid of making the wrong decision, or what do I do to actually make a real decision? That's exactly what I'm going to help you overcome and to be a goal-crushing decision-making machine, because it is the most powerful skill. Outside of having the right mindset, the right attitude, the right confidence and belief in yourself, you have to be a proficient decision maker. It is what separates winners from people who lose at life. Now, decision making is not taught in school, and it is a skill. So let's address a few of the issues before we get into teaching these how to conquer with these 3 simple steps. Now, the first thing to understand is that decision making is a mental move. Nobody sees the move you make, but they see the result of what you decide. And that's very powerful. What happens when you make a committed decision? It's like the universe opens up. You instantly start attracting results, resources, and people that you've never felt or seen before until you made a committed decision. I bet you can remember a few times in your life where maybe you didn't have the resources to do something, maybe go on a trip, but yet you decided to do it. You went, I really want this. The desire was strong, and you decided on it. And then guess what happened? You met the right people. The money started coming. You got a ticket, maybe on sale, but all of a sudden you're overseas and you've done the journey. But you actually didn't have the funds, the resources, or capabilities to do it. Has that happened for you? I know it's happened for me. It's happened to everyone. Now the problem becomes, then how do we apply that same technology to what we really want? And this is where belief is important. You've got to believe that what you want can happen. You have to learn to make decisions based upon what you want, not what you think you can get. There is an enormous difference between the two. So for example, when you're going on that trip that you didn't know how to do, you wanted the trip. You had no idea how it was going to happen. Well, guess what? That's the same with finance, relationships, health, anything to do with what we want in life. Do not look at your material resources right now. That is the worst way to make a decision. Now, the next thing to understand is that indecision is simply fear cloaking itself. Now, Napoleon Hill talks about this a lot. In Think and Grow Rich, he says that of all of the causes of failure, indecision is like top of the list. But what indecision really cloaks itself as is fear. And I'm sure you know the saying that fear is false evidence appearing real, and that's exactly what it is. It's simply your own belief system stopping you. It's telling you that you don't really have the ability right now to do that. You don't have the money, you don't have the time. What if it doesn't work out? Do not let those ghosts come up in your mind. Do not let those paradigms stop you, because everything you've done up until this point anyway has been a decision at some point. And if you're complaining about your life, if you hate your life right now, if you're looking around and going, I don't like my job, I'm not earning enough money, that's on you. You actually decided to get there. Now you need to decide to change it. Nobody forced you to do what you're doing. And if that's the case, then you definitely need to become a proficient decision maker. The other thing we have to understand about decision making is that there's a difference between making just a weak decision and a committed decision. So weak decision is like, you know what, I need to lose some weight, so I'm going to go to the gym, once a week. And then maybe you go once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe every now and then. That's a weak decision. It's not really fueled by a burning desire or a passion. Whereas a committed decision means you've made the decision and there is nothing stopping you or holding you back. Unfortunately, most people wait until life completely falls out from under them and they're at rock bottom before they make that type of decision. How many people have you seen who have been they've been so fed up, they've been so abused, they've been so taken advantage of that they go, that's it, that's enough, I'm never going to let this happen again, and then their life changes. I'm encouraging you to do it now regardless. Whether your life's great, whether your life's okay, or whether your life's really struggling, make decisions and make them frequently. Learn to make them and commit to them daily. This is the most important thing. Now, the 3 areas that we're going to talk about, or the 3 ways or steps to conquer indecision, the first is to don't take a vote on what you need to do. You don't need to go and ask the neighbor, what should I do? You don't need to go and ask your boss, what do you think I should do? You don't need to ask your partner, what do you think I should do? Decisions are a mental move based upon what you want, based upon the goals that you want to achieve. You only need to sit down, look at what you want, and go, you know what? This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to commit to it. The second thing is you must learn to tear the roots out of fear. So what that simply means is that every time you go to think about what you want, your paradigm's going to kick up, and it's going to say, where's the money, where's the resources, where's the time going to come from? You don't have the ability, you don't have the skill to do it. You've got to put that all aside. You've got to tap into your higher conscious faculties and start thinking that, you know what, if somebody else has done it, I can also do it. You also have to realize that everything in your life right now is nothing more than a conglomeration of decisions you've made at one point. The iPhone in your hand, or the Samsung, or the computer, or the camera I'm looking at right now were nothing more than decisions. If we look at the Wright brothers, who really are the ones that created the airline industry, they did not and could not possibly see how far their decision to bring flight to the common people would take the world. But they realized that they could do it. They had a little bit of proof, but nobody believed them. But they believed in themselves. And that's what I'm saying for you. You don't need people to come up to you and to give you their opinion on whether you should do a thing. You just need to believe it and see it in your own mind's eye. Tap into the higher side of your personality. The last thing is gather the facts and then act. See, sometimes we need to get the decisions. You don't need to make a decision to quit your job, to move to Tahiti, and to go save the children all next week. You just need to gather the facts of how you do a certain thing, and then you can make an informed decision. Now, calculated risks are important, but they're not the end-all and be-all. What you've got to do is make sure that if you have a very important decision to make, that you go out, you do the research in a very fast and timely manner, and as soon as you have everything you need, what did we say before? Decide and then act on it straight away. We need a committed decision, not a weak, unmotivated, unpowered, flippant decision. We need something that's powerful. So if you need to gather the facts, do it, but do it fast. Give yourself a time frame. Say no longer than 1 day, 2 days, 7 days before I make that decision. And like I said, you don't need to ask people for permission. You simply need to decide on whether or not you really, really want it. And that's the power of decision making. You can do anything you want, believe you can, but make sure you step up, and at the right moment when you decide, you don't change it. This is where most people fall down. They will decide, and then tomorrow, there's no action. So my challenge to you today, right now, is you decide on the income you want to earn, or you decide on the type of business you want to run, or you decide on the type of relationship that you want, and then you act on it straight away. Take an action instantly. Now, every single day, reinforce that decision with an action, no matter how small, every single day. It could be as simple as writing out an affirmation to yourself saying, I'm committed to this decision. It could be, more importantly, an action you take. So it could be, if you're in sales, making that extra phone call so you make that money. If you want to move into a new business and you can't actually quit your job, no problem. You commit to spending half an hour a day researching the industry you want to go into, or taking a business course on how to establish a successful business, or how to brand yourself. Are you getting the idea? That's the whole point. But my challenge to you, my call to action to you today, is that you decide and you back it up with action instantly. I really hope this serves you. If you've liked this training, I've got more trainings below that you can subscribe to. My name's Vaughan Liddicoat, and I thank you for tuning in. Please let me know what your decisions are below, and I look forward to seeing the results that you create in your life.